Hey, welcome to Rust Revival Garage. My name is Tim. I really would much rather spend my time working on my 68 Pontiac, but I own a Jeep. And if you own a Jeep, you probably know that that just stands for just empty every pocket. But in my case, there's always something going wrong with it, and it is my daily driver. And something has gone wrong with mine, so let's go take a look and see what we can find out. Alright, in this episode, it is what is wrong with the Jeep again today. It was running really rough, and my check engine light was flashing like crazy, so I'm gonna see what's going on. It's scanning right now, but what happened was I was driving it and it's just sluggish, and again it still feels like it's running on, I don't know, 4 cylinders instead of, or 5 cylinders instead of 6. There's a bit of a vibration, and I just need to see if I can figure out what's going on. Alright, so I got 3 codes. I got a P0204, 0304, 0138. So need to check and find out what is going on with these codes. Okay, so 0204 is a fuel injector circuit cylinder 4. Looks like a wiring issue. So yeah, I gotta check that out. And 0304 is a misfire detected in cylinder 4. It's not firing properly. So I have a feeling it is the wiring issue maybe leading it to it not firing. I think the 0138 is the O2 sensor, but I know about that. It's still the rear one that I need to replace. Yep, 038 is the sensor 2, so it's the rear one. I knew about that. That's not causing my problems. It's the wiring for cylinder number 4. Okay, so one of the joys of making YouTube videos is sometimes you're recording video and then sometimes you're actually setting it on time-lapse, and that's what I just did. I basically thought I'd come out and showing you exactly what had happened. Come to find out it was in the time-lapse mode, not the video mode. Anyway, sorry. Let me kind of go over. I opened up the hood of the Jeep, and this is what I found. Alright, you see these wires right here? Well, pretend there was a mouse or a rat nest all up in here. You can still see some of the stuff that they'd used to collect, but something had chewed through the wires. You can see how there are injectors here. The wire goes to it here. Wire goes to this one here. Well, for number 4, this one was cut in half, and it was just hanging on by a literal thread of just some wire. So I had cleaned it up a little bit. But yeah, so in my case, I was getting the error on number 4. For the 6 liter, the 4.0 liter 6 cylinder, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I was getting the error message in number 4. So what I need to do is put on a new connector. I picked up one from the auto store, and it is the same setup. Has the 2 prongs that go down in here for these 2 prongs here and here, and it's for these 2 wires. Now the one thing I need to kind of keep an eye on is that these wires are white. If I look over here, green one is going in on the side that snaps in. The white one is going in on the side farthest away. Same here, green, green. Green is always the first one, and then there it's green, green. I'm not sure why they have different colors. I think it was to keep track of it in the wiring loom here. So what I need to do is I need to make sure that whatever one I connect to my green one is going to be this one that's on this side where I'm plugging it back in here. So this is entirely too long. I'm going to cut it back to right about here so I have a little room to work with. If you have to do any kind of wiring, these are the things that I've been living with. This I will use to cut. This I will use to trim the wiring down. It does a great job depending on the thickness of the wire. Put it in there, you cut it, and it pulls the insulation off. Then I use this as a crimping tool. I need to get a couple of butt connectors, and then I can connect these two wires with those two wires. So yeah, again, these are the butt connectors. You want to make sure you use one that's good enough for the gauge of wire. This is for, I think, 18 to 22 or 16 to 22 wire. So I'm going to use these. There's a little bit of metal down in there. Probably can't see it. But you want to make sure your wire is in the metal. And then I'll be able to wrap it up then with some quality electrical tape. I don't like to use that rubbery kind. I actually like to use this sort of paper electrical tape. It works best. With the wires being that short, I think I'm going to try to put the connectors on on this wire first, and then I can sort of guide them down there and crimp them a little bit closer to the engine. So like I said, I want to trim them down a little bit. Give me some room to work with. And then this is what I will use to expose the metal or the wire underneath. See? Nice and clean. Give it a little twist. Nice and clean. Before you do anything, make sure you take off your negative battery cable. You just don't want to mess around with any of your wiring where you might get shocked, you might cause a problem. So definitely had to make sure I had that off. Darn mouse didn't give me a whole lot of room to work with. Alright, so my green one is the first one, closest to the button. Alright, I went with this style of crimper. It just wasn't, there was too much stuff going on in here. But it does the same thing, just depending on wire size. 14 to 26, 12 to 10. Just gets in there and pinches it nice and tight. The thing you want to do too is check to make sure that they're on tight. And then I want to tape them up to make sure that they are all nice and secure. Okay, so now my wiring is nice and tight, and I just want to go ahead and plug it in. And as you can see, it comes with the little red tab, and then that you would just lift up to take it back off, push down to make sure it's on there nice and tight, and it locks in. So right now the wiring is tight, it's all taped up. Now we need to test it, and hopefully the code goes away. And of course we want to put our battery back on, tighten it back up. And we have good power. You know, before, like I said, it was running really rough, and the engine was shaking. I could actually feel it in the steering wheel, and that kind of told me that something was off. And like I said, it was blinking at me. The check engine light was, and that's never a good sign. So hopefully now we've got good power going to that injector, and that is truly the issue. There still could be maybe an issue with the clogged injector, and I can hopefully get that cleaned out if that's the case. But if you've got this wiring number, the 204 and 0304 show up, check the wiring on your injector side and figure out which one it is. But it may not be the 04, it may be 0306 or 0305, maybe, depending on which cylinder it is. But at least it let me know, and I knew right where to look. So let me check and see if it is running any better. Okay, my check engine light is still on. I know that's going to be the case because I still have an O2 sensor issue back there. But I think what I'm going to do is drive it around a little bit and then take this back out and see if I'm still getting the code. The problem is, with this is a cheap auto parts store kind, so if there is still a code there, I may not be able to clear it with this. But hopefully it runs well, and it's, you know, I'm not getting that shaking feeling again. So I'm going to drive it around and get it warmed up. Okay, I don't have it warm yet, but it certainly does have the acceleration again. I did notice that when I was driving it just had no power whatsoever, and when you're missing a cylinder, that's going to cause a problem, and it doesn't seem to be doing that now. Got her nice and warm. That vibrating shake is gone. It's running on all 6 again. Okay, not sure if you can see it, but right now it says fault 1. I had 3, and now it says 0204. Well, the 0304 disappeared. 0204 might just be a remnant. But like I said, it is running better, and that was part of my issue. So yeah, it's possible that I fixed it, I just can't clear it. Cool. Okay, so we're running good. And if you get the P0304 or 05 or 06 or 01 code, there's a chance it could also be your spark plug, and it could also be in your sort of coil here. In my case, I just did a video, and I can link it up here, on replacing the spark plugs, capping them, doing that correctly, and then installing this new coil. So I was pretty sure it wasn't this. I was pretty sure this wasn't the issue, and that it was something, but I knew as soon as I opened up the hood, I saw the rat's nest, and I saw that a wire had been chewed away, that was my problem. But the 0304 could be on this side as well, with your spark plugs and or your coil. So yeah, that's going to do it. One of the things I also did was I used the Seafoam top engine cleaner. I probably should have videoed that, but I just in case my injectors were getting clogged up a little bit, I opened up the hood, took off the snorkel that goes to the air filter, and sprayed the Seafoam down in there for about 7 straight minutes, emptied the entire can into it, and let it heat soak for a little while, and then ran it again, and it runs even better now. So that's the problem, or that might have been the problem for me. But again, if you do get an 030, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, it could also be the spark plugs. Like I said, it could be the coil too. But in my case, it was wiring, because I was getting that 0204 code, and it was saying that there was an electrical issue. So that's kind of how I knew in that case. So if you're just getting the 030 code, it might be the spark plugs or the coil. But that's going to do it for now. If you can, subscribe to the channel. More Jeep stuff coming up. More stuff on my 85 Pontiac, my 68 Pontiac, and my 85 C10 power tours coming up, and all that. So I'd appreciate it if you could subscribe, like it if you got anything out of it. Leave me a comment down below if you have any questions, suggestions, anything like that. Let me know. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we will catch you next time.